Welcome back to our NCAA Tournament edition of CavsHQ, driven by Ganley Auto. And what better guest?
Smiles all over.
What better guest to have on the show in the first half hour than the man who made an indelible mark upon that NCAA tournament. One of my favorites, one of your favorites. It is Austin Carr. AC, good
Senor
to see you.
Cavalier.
Good to see you guys.
What's up? Welcome.
Great to have you here
All right, good to be
on
here.
the set. This guy, you want to talk about unbreakable records. This guy may have an unbreakable record. I mean, and those are very few and far between nowadays. 61 points, Austin, against Ohio. It was back in 1970, a record that may never be broken. One of my favorite parts of it, Austin, is if there was a three-point line, that was a 73-point night for you.
Yeah, well, you know, that the three-point line really is kind of, to me, is a little bit too close for comfort. And a lot of my shots came on the outside. So, you know, I kind of would it would have been easy to get 73 with that line.
Would have been easy to get 73. Now, Johnny D was your coach.
Yes.
Now, the story goes that Johnny D said if you shoot 50%, you could shoot as many times as you want. In that game, you go 25 of 44 from the floor, well over 50%. But I love that. What, you shoot 50%, you can shoot all night, right?
Right, that's right.
That was what he said?
Yeah, that's what he told me. And, I mean, he would do things like one time we were getting ready to play Butler at Butler Fieldhouse, and we had the flu hit the team. We only had about 7 players. So I was in the stall getting ready to, getting myself together and ready to get mentally ready. I heard a knock on the stall. I'm going, man, who is this? It was Coach. He says, I think it's about time for you to get one of those 50-point nights.
Straight from the coach.
Straight from the coach.
Okay, coach.
That's okay. And I got exactly 50 that night.
That's a green light, right?
Record for points in a tournament game. Record for shots made in a tournament game. Record for shots taken in a tournament game. Every now and then we hear about the zone and players being in the zone. How do you feel that night? Did it feel like the bucket was a little bigger that night and everything was going in, basically?
It really, when you have nights like that, what happens is you kind of get into an area where it's only you out there. I mean, you know where everybody else is and what they're doing, but everything seems to be easy, as far as making your cuts, the ball, timing when you receive the ball, because I played a lot without the ball. So my cuts and understanding of where the ball is going to be at the right time, everything was there.
And everybody's lower than you.
Yeah, right. So it just seemed like every time I went up for a shot, there was nobody else around. And it's amazing when you get into that type of a zone.
To put that 61-point game in perspective, the closest anyone has ever come in the tournament was David Robinson back in 1987. He had 50, of course, with the Naval Academy. You spent 3 seasons at Notre Dame. The numbers, AC, incredible. Can't play as a freshman back in those days, but as a sophomore, 21 points a game, 38 points a game as a junior, 38 points a game as a senior. Here's my question. Nowadays we see teams sitting in conference rooms or their living room. They watch a selection show to find out if they made it, where they got seated. Back in 1970, how did you guys find out?
Well, when I think about it, it wasn't anything like it is now.
Right.
I mean, we just we had practice, and after practice, that was it. I mean,
Coach said you're the what? Coach would say, hey, you're the 4 seed, or here's who you're playing next.
Right, we're going to Kentucky. We're going to, that was it. And they told us who we played against, and that was it. There was no hoopla like it is now with all the brackets and all that little crap. No, we didn't have any of that.
You mentioned the record, 61 points. I think there's that might never be broken, but I know one that will probably never go down, AC, and I'm sure you're proud of it. 50 points per game in 7 tournament games. That's his average for Senor Cavalier. How special was it to be part of obviously, you were highly recruited by Notre Dame.
Right.
And to make it to the tournament. I know it's a totally different monster now.
Right.
But still, I'm pretty sure it was special back in the day to be competing for the national title.
Well, it was huge, especially for us, because we were independent. We didn't belong to a conference. So the only thing we could look forward to was the tournament. So we had to focus on having a good record so we could get into the tournament. And back then it was a lot tougher getting into the tournament. Now you couldn't play all these cupcake teams and get in there, just playing 3 or 4 good teams. You had to play a decent schedule to get in there because it was only 32 teams, I think, one of those 2 years.
Right.
So you had to play well during the season and advance in the playoffs. I mean, in the tournament, and it was just when we got to the tournament, we were ready to play. That's just how we geared ourselves. Just like the Cavs now are trying to gear themselves to the playoffs, we try to do the same thing.
You talk about the differences between back then and nowadays. It was only 2 seasons ago when the three of us right here at the Q enjoyed Notre Dame in the Elite Eight.
Oh, boy, right.
Playing against Kentucky. Austin, a game, we were about 5 rows behind the Cavalier bench, or excuse me, behind the Notre Dame bench. Courtesy of Austin, by the way, getting us big-time tickets. Austin, they played about 38 and a half perfect minutes against Kentucky. Had a chance to pull off the upset.
I thought they had that.
The last 90 seconds were one of the worst 90 seconds the school's ever played.
Towns.
And playing against 7-footers like old Carl Anthony Towns and Willie Cauley-Stein and other 7'3" named guys.
What's funny? After that game, I said, man, that Towns guy's pretty good. And he is pretty good.
All he did was go on to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But it was amazing. He looked like he belonged in another league, especially at the end of the game. Those moves inside in the paint.
Notre Dame couldn't do anything with him.
Which was incredible.
I don't think they passed the last 90 seconds. I still hold it against Jaron Grant. I still he was a Nick as a rookie. Now he's a bull in the Cavs. And every time I see him, I'm like, Jaron, all you got to do is pass the ball like you did the first
pass the ball.
I honestly don't think they had a pass, did Notre Dame, in the last minute and a half.
They didn't.
As they fell to Kentucky. That was a fun moment. Can you stick around, AC? We have more tournament talk coming up. A lot of guys on this Cavalier team. Their alma maters are in the tournament. 3-2 seeds.
Duke beat Notre Dame. I know Kyrie. Kyrie, I take my hat off to you. You guys beat us.
Right. He was talking stuff to me as well. I'm sure we're going to hear more about that. And that's the fun part of having some of these guys' alma maters in the tournament. We're going to talk about that in the next segment right here at CavsHQ on Fox Sports Ohio and the Alcanal Cavaliers Radio Network.